Yeah, I hit the record button this time. Today is July 15th. There we go. Man, it's been a beautiful day so far, guys. Everybody listening to right now. We have amazing. Check this out. We might have a light fall off today. We might have a light fall today. We never know. I might gonna try to fix it this weekend. I have a lot of things going on today. Everybody should check out my list of what I got to do today. It's a whole list. It's like if I'm going to the grocery store, but I'm not. It's gonna be a beautiful, perfect Saturday, guys. Ariel's Entertainment Podcast. We're available on all podcast platforms, and it's on YouTube. And make sure you guys do the 5-star review on Apple and Spotify. We have an amazing guest from Colorado. My last guest was from Colorado. All my guests today are from Colorado. I'm just realizing that right now, guys. So buckle up right now. It's gonna be amazing. It's a huge collaboration today. Woo! Nice. That was the intro. Welcome, best friends. Welcome, listeners all around the world. It's your boy, Rico Suave Latino Heat, the most electrifying podcaster in the world. All right, let's get into it. Buckle up because we're in the space shuttle right now. We're about to take off. This one is a big episode 303, 5280 collaboration. People love these ones right now. These are everybody's favorite. Okay, she loves fashion. She has a company called Clay and Create as well. She's into clay sculpturing. Guys, wait till we talk about all this. She is the incredible Brittney Smith. Yeah, Brittney.
Hey, hi everybody. How are we all doing?
Man, Brittney, hope I got that all correct. Clay and Create in the building. What's up? How's Denver?
It is so good. I love it here. Born and raised in Colorado, so wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Hey, I know it's my favorite state. I think we're really spoiled here. I
We
really
definitely are. There's not many places I get all 4 seasons, so I'm super thankful for that too.
all 4 seasons. We got restaurants that go pretty late.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of things to do.
Yep.
And yep, and there's a lot of things that you cannot do in other places that you can do here in Colorado as well. So it gets pretty cool here, guys. Yo, Brittney, tell us right now, since you've been native to Colorado, what are some favorite things you like to do in Colorado?
Okay, my all-time favorite is I love to go paddleboarding at all the lakes. I bring my little dog with me. Her and I go. She comes on to the paddleboard with me. So that's a lot of fun. And I love to go backpacking where you carry everything in your backpack. You go ruck a couple miles in, pitch a tent, and you just kind of get away from the world. And I love doing that and just basically anything outdoors. And skiing is always fun in the wintertime. There's just so much outdoor activities that you get to do here. So definitely my favorite thing in Colorado.
I believe that. I believe that. So quick question with the backpacking. Have you ever been to Zion National Park?
I have not. I've heard of it though. I don't think I've backpacked through it. I think I've maybe drove through it.
Yeah, okay. All right. So Zion, that's a place where we had to park our car at the visitor center and carry everything in our backpacks because they use shuttles. They use shuttles there. And
Oh
so
yeah.
yeah, that was a lot. We were carrying everything all day that day.
Oh yeah. Backpacking is extreme. It is very extreme. It's like a whole mental
Oh,
environment. It's like getting to the top of the mountain and let alone carrying everything you need. It's so hard sometimes, but it's worth it.
don't even get me started on mental hikes right now. Oh my gosh. Have you been to Utah?
I have. I was just out there in March.
Me too. I was just out there last month. Where did you go?
So I actually had a runway show. I was out there with Modelo Nouveau magazine. And so I went out there and we were just out there for a few days. We were in Salt Lake City.
Oh,
So we didn't
word,
really
got
get
it.
We went to the Salt Flats though, so that was probably the most like nature of the, week that we were there.
Hey, turn up. Did you? Okay, so when we went to college, we went to Utah the other last month. We went to Moab, and then we went to all the way through Southwest through all the five national parks,
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
we hit up the Pink Sands National Park as well. So we hit up six. So here's what I learned: the mental hikes out there is no joke because it's all rocks, and the sun hits those rocks, and you're hiking and you're just like, oh my gosh, and it's like hitting your head so hard, but then after all it's said and done, like you said, it's all worth it.
Oh, yes.
We're here in Colorado, we go hiking and it's trees, there's rivers, there's grass, there's there's plants, birds, but and so it's kind of like peaceful, it's relaxing, you get that wind, you get shade. But let me tell you, in Utah, oh my gosh, those rocks are just bearing on you, like
Oh,
it's
I believe it.
Jeez Louise. So man, I'm so glad that you understand, because you really like you understand the extreme, and so that was sweet. I had to relate to that. But my producer's looking at me real quick because I gotta do the quick shout out, guys. The best way to support the podcast is arielent.com. Let me bring it up real quick. My goodness. I'm glad I have an assistant to pull me back in. arielent.com. There it is, guys. The best way to support me, my music, my merchandise, my photography, podcasting, and my new adventure salsa. People been loving it. I got new ingredients yesterday because I'm making a new batch today. Like I said, I have a huge list to do today. arielent.com. All right, another great way to support me is by my YouTube channel, arielent.com. Ariel's Entertainment Podcast in the search engine. It's no big deal. It's going up. Subscribe to that right now, guys. Thank you so much. 5-star review, Apple, Spotify. Donation links are down below. And I got the prayer of the day. So here we go. This is the prayer of the day, and it goes like this. Thank you, Jesus, God, our guardian dear, to whom's God love commits us here. Ever this day and night, be at our side, to light and guard, to rule and guide. I want to say thank you, God, for having Brittney on the show. I want to say thank you, God, for all the millions and millions of listeners tuning in right now, for family, for paddle boarding, for lakes, for pets, for outdoors, for family, for our amazing health, for food. Glory to God, praise God, amen. All right, let's bring our guest back in. Here she comes, Brittney. Tell us who you are and how we can support you, please.
Hi, everyone. So, yes, my name is Brittney Smith. I'm the owner and artist behind Clay and Create. Here is my Instagram. On my Instagram, you'll find, my bio, which will have my website. The best way to support me as of right now is showing up to my events that I'm hosting. I actually have a really big event coming up on July 29th. It is a runway show at Void Studios. So this is my website, and then also in my bio, this isn't my website. This is the link for the ticket. So Compulsion is talking about the various forms of addiction, and I'm working with very unique materials, such as wine corks, soda pop tabs, computer chips, broken CDs, to talk about the various forms of addiction that we all have on a day-to-day basis. So that runway show will be happening on July 29th. It'll be a very big show. I hope to see as many of you there as you can. If not, all of you would be even better. But tickets are for sale right now. So please come to that. That would be the best way to support me, and just be able to get involved with the community as well. So that is a great way to support me. And then on my website, I will be posting links that will be, pieces of art for sale. For example, I have my lamp right here. Things like this will be for sale, my various artworks, things like that.
Awesome. I'm bringing that up right now. Here's your website, clayandcreate.com. You can see her latest work, guys. This is no joke. This work is out of this world, okay? I wouldn't just say that just to say that. Here we go. July 29th, she has a Compulsion fashion show. July 29th at Void Studios. Where is Void Studios at?
So Void Studios is in Denver. It's off of exit 206. And it starts at 7:30. Well, doors open at 7, but the show, we're trying to get everyone seated by 7:30. And the show will start at 8. So it'll be, a little bit later in the afternoon, and there's an after party after. So having everyone come and just be a part of it would be awesome.
All right. And for us to get tickets, we just go to your link and then we just go from there, right? It has the
Yep, under my bio, or if you're following Void Studios also has it under their bio as well.
Oh my gosh, Brittney, you're killing the scene. You can't do that no more. You're being too dangerous here. You're being too dangerous. You got big companies looking at you being like, what is going on down there in Colorado? They're looking right now. They're scouting right now. So you better be ready. That's what
We're ready.
That's what I was just told to tell you right now. Brittney Smith in the arena, guys. Clay and Create is the Instagram handle. That's Clay underscore and underscore Create. Okay, that is the Instagram handle. Hit the links. And then her website, clayandcreate.com. Great way to support her as well. Get the tickets. Get the tickets. July 29th. You know what? You know what's crazy? I actually have a show that day too. I have a concert that day too, so we'll see what we can pull up that day after my concert. And July 29th, 7 p.m., Void Studios. It's going big time. Colorado, Denver's going to be busy that day. Definitely going to be busy that day. All right, guys, go check it out. It's at 1790 South Bannock Street, Denver, Colorado, Void Studios. And they want everybody in the seats at 7:30. Show time as at 8. All right, those are the shout outs. Man, I just did all those shout outs. All right, let's get with the questions because that's what everybody wants to hear. The questions, because everybody's excited for this part. All right, Brittney, here we go. What is it that you like about being, what you're doing right now? The Clay and Create, you got the fashion show, and what is it that you like doing about all that stuff?
So my favorite thing about doing all of this is I dropped out of dental school 6 months ago to start my company. At 20 years old, I decided, you know what? It's worth giving a shot, trying it. And I started my company based off of 3 core values. The first one is to get the community involved.
Okay.
Second one is to inspire others. And the last one is to create the unimaginable, which is on all of my t-shirts. Creating the unimaginable is the most important. And that is my favorite thing about sculpting. That's my favorite thing about designing, is creating things that no one else can think of, creating things that people tell you are impossible and finding a way to make it work. One thing I truly love to do is make my materials misbehave, make my things do what they're not supposed to do. I made penny torsos and I put them on models. Theoretically, you shouldn't be able to solder pennies. It shouldn't be possible because it's copper and you're working with solder, which is silver, or not silver. What is it? No, it's silver. I don't know.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. You're good.
I don't know what it is, but it's 2 different kinds of metals that shouldn't be able to go together. And that is one material that I really love to make misbehave. I also love to work with, materials that kind of are overlooked. I did a whole recycling series where I took egg cartons and I turned them into clay. And I used that to be able to put on models. And it is a really unique, step-by-step process that allows me to further, my clay and further my materials.
Man. And what got you into this clay sculpting? Did you see somebody do it, or did somebody take you to a class, or were you mesmerized when you were a kid? What's up?
So for me, clay, I never considered myself an artist. It wasn't until my freshman year of high school when I met my teacher and one of my biggest mentors to this day, Johnny O'Lonigan. I remember distinctively our first day of ceramics class. And I was in there with all my other cheer buddies, and we took it as a joke, as like our one art credit. And I went and he asked the class, he said, "How many of you are artists?" And 3 people raised their hand. I definitely was not one of those 3. And he was like, "Okay, well, here is some Starburst candies. I want you to mold them with your hands and, make something." And so I molded into this like little hot dog, nothing spectacular, nothing, just stupid. And I molded it. And he asked us again, he goes, "How many of you are artists?" And I didn't raise my hand. I was like, "I still ain't no artist. Look at this hot dog. Like, this looks horrible." And he was like, "All of you should be raising your hands because you have created something using your hands and have placed it in front of you.
Mm,
That is an artist. It
mm.
doesn't have to, you shouldn't be comparing your art to somebody else's. Don't look at your neighbors. You have made something." And something about that moment in time has changed me forever. Johnny,
Wow.
he's the reason I'm an artist today. And one thing I really loved about his class that kind of like sent me as an artist was he never told me no. He never belittled my ideas. No idea was ever too big. It was such a great class, and him and I are still friends to this day. We meet up for coffee. We support each other at all of our different art shows. I go to his, he comes to mine. And so
Jeez.
it was a really like great class, and that's what started all of this was him.
Wow. And his name was Johnny?
Yep, Johnny O.
Yo, Johnny O, shout out. Man, that's
Oh,
big time. Does he still teach?
he still does. He's retiring in 3 years, and I'll be teaching under him when I go back to school to learn even more from him, and be teaching ceramics one day in the next couple of years. So I'm very excited for that as well, just because he was such a great mentor for me. So I want to be able to give that back to students and, really focus on this idea that, art isn't something that you make, it's something that you do. It's
Oh
the
my
way that you put
God.
your emotions into things.
That's big time.
Oh, yes. I'm so excited. It's the dream. It's the dream job.
Yo, that's bright lights right there.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, so shout out to Johnny. Thank you so much, Johnny, for, inspiring the kids, inspiring people, and just encouraging others to believe in themselves. And because look at where you're at right now. Man, that time, like, it's cool that you realize at that time, when he said that, it changed your whole life. So that's amazing. That's a great answer to that question. Here we go. And the next one goes like this. I know you said he's been your biggest influence. Who else has been your other influences in what you do with the fashion and with the sculpting and clay? Who's been your influences when you wake up in the morning?
So one big influence actually has been Void Studios. They have completely taken me under their wing and have
Wow.
taught me a lot about the fashion industry. I've been in the fashion industry for 6 years. I've modeled, I teach modeling. I work with Southwest Models and Talent. And so I am one of the new face directors. So I help, you know, run things. I work with the preteens, all that good stuff. And so this fashion industry, like I said, I've been in for a while, but Void Studios has really helped me, understand concepts, how to run things to think about when you're planning these outfits. And so that's been really fun. But one artist in particular in the fashion world that is, like an icon to me is Schiaparelli. He does a lot of wearable art as well. His is different from mine, but at the same time is comparable. We like to use unique materials. We like to have a wow factor where it is wearable art, because I believe fashion is can really project onto a person and can really change the way that person looks. Like, it can build up their confidence. It can make somebody feel a certain way. And that's what I love about fashion, is it's all this feeling. And in particular, this wow factor when you take materials that people don't think of, or everyday materials that people walk past and see, like a soda pop tab, and turning it into this gown and turning it into this thing that somebody can wear and show this story, this wow factor of runway when it comes to hair, makeup, running how the show's going to work, getting the models in order, figuring out all these things, and at the same time conveying a message that's impactful. That's the best part about fashion, is all of these different steps that get you to this end result.
Yeah, and it's all about conveying a message with all of that like putting all that and at the end conveying a message. That's big time. I didn't know it was all that takes into it. I know it takes a lot of it, but man, you really broke it down right there.
Oh, yes.
Jeez Louise. And you said his name was Scaparelli?
Yep.
Right there you go, guys. I'm taking really good notes. Fashion for 6 years, and it's all about the feeling. Shout out to Void Studios for taking you under their wing. Woo! Man, I'm taking it notes. Here we go. This one's one of my favorite questions, Brittney. What have you learned? What have you learned from your business and then being in the fashion for 6 years?
So, biggest thing about my business, like the most I learned was at the beginning. When you're 20 years old and you're starting your own company, and keep in mind, I was in medical school, I was not a business major. It is a whole nother world. It's a whole nother learning curve when you do this. But the thing that I learned the most, it was actually before I started my business. It was right before. It was in this time period of when I was having a wake up call of that I'm not doing what I love. And I had that wake up call. One of my friends, they asked me, they said, Brittney, if you weren't being a dentist, what would you be? And I was like, I'd be an artist. Like, that's easy question. I can answer that. And I realized you shouldn't have an answer to that question. You shouldn't be able to answer to what you should be doing. You should be doing that. You should be going towards that. And that was that, again, that same kind of moment where I realized that I needed to not have an answer to that question. If somebody asked me, what would you be doing other than art? I don't have an answer. If anything, it's further on into art, further on into my career, but I don't have an answer. And I live by that through my career. And so with that, like learning in this industry, at the end of the day, as an artist, it's you against yourself. It's not you against the next best designer. It's not you against the next best sculptor. It's not you against anybody, but it's against you. It's up to you to wake up every day and go to the studio for countless hours. It's up to you to pull those all-nighters. It's up to you to schedule those meetings and work really, really hard. Dental school in comparison to what I'm doing now is a joke. They're different kinds of hard, but running your own company as an artist is extremely difficult. I'm pulling all-nighters 2 to 3 nights a week right now. And it's the part of the career and I love it. But yes, it's that one of those things where you have to be able to follow your dreams and pursue it. So that's definitely been the biggest learning curve.
Wow, and that's great. You asked that person asked you that question, and
Yeah.
like man, and then you still look back to that question to just think back, hey, this is where I came from. This is all started from there, and then wow, and then it's you against yourself. That is amazing. I wrote that down. Great ideas right there. Oh man. I can't even top that right now. You're dropping too much wisdom right now, Brittney. And that's a cool shirt. Is that the
Thank
merchandise
you.
right there?
Yes, this is some merch. I'll be putting some on the
Woo!
website so you could get these t-shirts. And then at my show itself, I'll be selling art, I'll be selling jewelry, I'll be selling my t-shirts, I'll be selling a bunch of really cool stuff at the show.
Wow, you're ready. She's ready, guys, and I hope you're ready too. So make sure you get those tickets for July. Let's see, July 29th. July 29th, guys. Go check it out. Compulsion Fashion Show, Void Studios, 7:30. Make sure you pull up. Tell your friends and family. Okay, I know we talked a little bit. So you talked about a little bit what you like to do, paddle boarding, and you have a dog. How old's your dog?
She's 2. She's just a little fur baby. I love her. She's a little pit lab mix. So she was a little rescue pup, and I think rescuing is the way to go. I don't know how to explain it, but they just know that they've been rescued. They just get it. And I'm biased, but she literally has been the best dog ever.
Oh,
She's just a big snuggle bug, and she's very, I'm not gonna lie, she is very lazy. She is probably the laziest dog I've ever met. I've never met a dog that loves to sleep as much as she does. Like most dogs, when you take them into the car, they love to stick their head out the window, but she'll
yeah.
just lay on the seat and just like fall asleep. And I'll roll down the window and she has absolutely no interest. She's like, I just want to sleep right now. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. Well, do what you want to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's her name?
Her name is Luna.
Luna. Shout out to Luna. That is super awesome. It means a lot to, take them in and be there for the animals. I love animals so much. I feed the birds, I feed the rabbits outside, I feed the squirrels outside. So that's what we do. And it's not a big deal at all. And we go to Target to get the bird feed. And then the bird feed, it's like a really good mix. And then we put it on the fences, and then the squirrels come and the birds come. And then now we have a raccoon coming in the middle of the night,
Oh gosh.
and so he eats the food that the birds or the squirrels don't eat. So he comes and eats that.
Yeah.
But then in the mornings we have a bunny that comes now.
Oh, nice. You're like Snow White out there, just getting all.
It is super awesome. It's so cool. One time we had another cat come through, but he dipped out. But yeah, it was cool. I'm all about animals, and like you said, I just like to help them as much as possible. That's so great. Oh yeah, but I was asking, what else do you like to do in Colorado? I know when you're not doing the modeling, when you're not setting up shows, when you're not doing clay, when you're not doing Void Studios. You know what I mean? What do you like to do when you have some time off? Do you play video games? Do you read? Do you play the game Clue? What do you do?
Yeah, so I love to swing dance. So I am a big time dancer. I started dancing about a year and a half ago, but I go to the bar like you could catch me at the country bars like 3 to 4 times a week. I'm there almost every single night. I do all the flips, I do all the back flips, all those like tricks with my dance partners. And it is like the one way I can relieve stress, like going out, line dancing, doing all these crazy tricks. Like that's my favorite. It's my jam. I don't know. I do it all the time. It's awesome.
Wow, I would never thought of that. So you're saying you've been doing that for like a year, 2 years right now?
Yeah, almost 2 years.
When are you gonna start getting into tango salsa dancing, you think?
I think tango, I've done a little bachata, barchetta. I can never say it right. But anyways, I've been doing a little bit of that. There's this like really cool bar in the Springs. It's called Kawadi. And
Mm.
on Tuesday nights they do, dance nights. And so when I was working there, I was doing a little bit, picking up a little bit. So it's very similar to swing dancing, but at the same time different. It's just like to different music, different, ways to get into those dips and all that fun stuff. So I think any form of dance for me I love it. It's just a great way to like free yourself and all that good stuff.
Hey, I like that. I like how you said you're game for all dancing. Because I know people that say, "Oh, I don't want to do that dance. That dance too boring. Oh, I don't want to do that dance because that's too energetic for me." But I like what you said. You're an open mind to all the dancing.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, dude. People need to learn that.
I agree.
You
And once you like start dancing, it's like it's proven that like, in life you have there's this really cool thing like sound waves, right? Everything you do and put into this world, it creates a sound wave. It creates energy.
Oh, for
Your
sure.
voice, your heartbeat, stomping on the ground, singing, all of that creates a sound wave and it impacts the energy. It goes into things. Energy is created and not destroyed. And I think that's really beautiful is like through dance, through stomping my boots on the ground, like we're creating sound waves and we're creating, all these lines. And I love how lines are seen, in this world throughout everything. And it's just beautiful.
Absolutely. And you were talking about when you're stomping, you're dancing, why you're seeing this energy is because you're having a great time. You're doing what you love and you're expressing yourself and you don't care. So you're just like in your zone. And so when you're doing that, you're like your highest frequency, which is energy. So your aura is just getting brighter and brighter and brighter. And that's legit, and for me, I know for you it's like dancing and maybe other things as well. For me, yeah, I get that. The energy, I get energy too, like when I pray, before I eat, I like to pray before I eat. I just feel the energy from the food. Before I go driving on the road, I like to pray before I get on the road and just feel like, that's great stuff right there. It's all about the energy, positive mental attitude, high frequency. Oh my goodness. Love, excitement, fun, wonderful, incredible. I can go on, amazing, all those type of high frequency words. That's what I'm all about. I can go on and on. We're gonna go with the next question here, Brittany. It goes like this. What's the coolest accomplishment? We got two questions left. What's the coolest accomplishment you're proud of with your journey when you quit the dental school? You said bye-bye dental school and now you're doing your journey. What's the biggest lesson you've learned?
Let's see. The biggest lesson I've learned
Or
is
like the coolest accomplishment I meant, like the coolest accomplishment. My mistake, my mistake.
it's been quite a journey. And when I think about everything I've done since I started my company, I've been featured in, six various different magazines. I've done runway shows. I've done, I think, 4 or 5 different collections of pieces. And so it's been go, 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 go. I've not stopped. And I think for me, accomplishments are such a tough word. So many people are like, oh, well, you have to be able to see something to say that you're accomplished something, that you're successful. And
Hmm.
really, in my opinion, the definition of an accomplishment is, are you giving it your 100? And 100 is such a broad term because your 100 is different every day. Your 100 is different every day. I can't stress that enough. Some days your 100 will be, just laying in bed and getting up and doing just a little bit to get it to the next day.
Mhm,
Other
mhm.
days your 100 will be, you're checking off everything off your list. You're, doing it all. And I'm not going to sit here and tell everyone that my 100 is always checking it off the list. I think the difference between my 100 and everyone else's definition of 100 is that it's different every single day. And with that being said, it's people always ask me like, wow, you're so motivated. That's what they see. And it has nothing to do with motivation. It has everything to do with commitment. Are you committed to that dream? Are you committed to that vision that you have for yourself? Are you committed to meet those deadlines? Are you committed to reach out and do what you said to do, like getting the community involved, inspiring others, and creating the unimaginable? So for me, motivation and giving my 100 has nothing really to do with my commitment. They're two very separate things. So I think that's, how I look at the world. And that's, been my biggest accomplishment is, giving it my 100, whatever that may be for that day. I have given it my 100 every single day.
Totally agree. 100% could be either, like you said, crossing all those things you want to do that day, or it could be, hey, I'm not going to do nothing today. I am just going to chill, and
Oh,
that's okay. Like it's okay to rest. And I love that how you said that. And you're giving it your 100%. You're always on the go, go, go. The 6 magazines articles, that's big. That's legit right there. And are you committed to your dream? Are you committed to your deadlines? And you know what? I forgot to give a huge shout out to Natasha, who did Triggered Wednesdays, Happy Wednesdays, or community gathering on Wednesdays. Shout out to Natasha because that's where I went and that's where I met you. So
nope.
shout out to Natasha. I can't wait to CC her, get her. I can't wait to CC her on the Instagram post. I'm gonna tag her on here, and she's gonna be like, "What?" So that's gonna be cool. We got
Speaking
one.
of Natasha, get ready for her show September 2nd. I'll be designing wearable jackets that are telling the homeless community's stories. And I'll be, taking their story and their original sayings on their signs and painting them on jean jackets that they will wear. And then I'll be taking their signs and I'll be turning their signs into clay and that clay into jewelry that they'll wear. So it's a whole, world around where you're going to see this whole process in the art like aspect while they're enlightening their story and telling people what they've gone through, and empowering others to keep fighting like they did. So shout out to Natasha. Get ready for her show. I'm very excited for it. It's going to be absolutely amazing.
Amazing. I agree on that. I'm so happy I met her. Wow. Man, I'm trying to think how I even met her, Natasha. I'm trying to. I mean, so this year, I'm telling you, this year, like you said, it's just been go, 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 meeting people here, 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 and it's just been wow. So, Natasha, thank you so much. I I'm just blown away. We've got one last question here. I'm just connecting all the dots. And when I connect the dots, I just get blown away. All right, here we go. Last question of the day. Brittney, thank you so much for coming onto the show, dropping your wisdom. And it goes like this. People might be going through a tough time right now, right? And you know you got your head on your shoulders, you write things down, you're trying to accomplish things, and and you're just trying to stay motivated and trying to do your best, right? So someone might be going through a tough time right now. What advice would you give someone right now that might be going through that?
So, a couple of things. One, just know that there are always people in your corner. And even if you feel like there's not, I will always be there. You can always message me if you ever need help. But I think my biggest thing I can stress, for those tough times is learn how to put your pain into something visible. Learn how to put your pain into something that you can see. It really does help the healing process, whether that be, an art form, whether that be working out, whether that be through dance, whether that be through hiking, or, just doing something you love. Being able to actively put your thoughts and your emotions into what you do will allow those pain. It's a therapeutic form. That's a big part of why I love clay is I have pain behind every sculpture I have. And those pain, it's very therapeutic because it starts as this feeling, and then it comes into this form of an idea, and this idea of how I can convey my feelings. And then as I'm sculpting, it is a very tough process because clay is not an easy material. It's very difficult to work with. And, you're going to have all these ups and downs with the sculpture. Some things will work, some things will not. Sometimes it explodes, hence this piece, and it ended up being a lamp. Sometimes, things happen that you can't control in this process. But what the best part is after you put all your emotions through everything, you get it at the end, you get to see it in front of you, staring you back at your face. These problems that took you, weeks to overcome as you're making this thing are now facing you, and you've overcome them. So learn, like I can not stress it enough, learn something that you can put your pain into. Use your pain as power. And that I think is like the best way to help get you through those situations.
Boom. All right. Learn to put pain into something you see. Wow. That was huge. Thank you so much. Make sure that you know that you have people at your corner.